Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something I learned early on. If you don't run your mind, someone else will. The battle isn't out there. No, it's right here, between your ears. We've all been there. Waking up with a plan, but by noon, we're sidetracked, distracted, discouraged. And then we wonder why we're not getting results, why we feel stuck, why we're not where we hoped we'd be by now. It's not the economy. It's not your neighbor. It's not your boss. It's your own mind that needs leadership. The most powerful tool you have, it's not your phone. It's not your resume. It's not even your education. It's your mind. But here's the kicker. It's only powerful when you're the one using it, not the other way around. You see, your mind is like a factory. It can produce poison or it can produce power. It depends on what kind of foreman is running the shift. Some people let fear run it, some let doubt run it, some let TikTok run it, but I'm telling you, you have to run it. It starts with awareness. Don't let your thoughts go unattended. Don't let negative ideas set up camp and build a home rent-free in your head. The moment you notice them, challenge them, replace them, take authority. That's your job, not the world's, yours. Next, you need to build some fences, not to keep you in, but to keep the nonsense out. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Ask, does this thought serve me? Is this belief helping me become the person I want to be? If the answer is no, out it goes. You don't let garbage in the front door of your house. Don't let it into your head either. And then, here's the key, discipline. That's the master key. Discipline is deciding that your mind works for you, not the other way around. Discipline is choosing to feed your mind with good books, powerful ideas, strong principles. It's saying no to drama, no to gossip, no to excuses. Because every time you say no to something small, you say yes to something greater. But remember, it's not one decision. It's a series, day by day, moment by moment. Control isn't a switch, it's a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Control your mind and you control your emotions. Control your mind and you control your habits. Control your mind and you shape your destiny. You say, Jim, it's hard. Sure it is, but you know what's harder? Regret. Regret is the price you pay for a mind left on autopilot. Discipline may weigh ounces, but regret weighs tons. So decide today, this hour, this moment, to take your mind back. Lead it like a coach, train it like an athlete, guard it like a treasure, because that's what it is. Control your mind, and you control your life. Discipline is the master key, because without it, no other principle will hold. You can have talent, potential, dreams, goals, and even a powerful vision of the future, but if discipline is missing, it all fades. Discipline is the bridge between thought and accomplishment, between intention and reality. It is what makes ideas take form, what transforms hopes into habits and habits into results. It is the quiet force behind every lasting success, every meaningful achievement, every life that rises beyond average. Most people think success begins with motivation, but motivation is just the spark. Discipline is the engine. Motivation gets you going for a day, maybe a week, but when the days get long, when the results are slow, when life gets noisy, motivation slips away. That's when discipline takes over. Discipline says, I don't feel like it, but I'll do it anyway. Discipline says, I've made a commitment to myself and I intend to keep it. Discipline says, I choose effort over ease and growth over comfort. Every person who's accomplished something worthwhile has walked the same road, the road of routine, of repetition, of showing up even when it's boring or hard or unappreciated. Discipline is showing up for your life. It's saying no to the small urges so you can say yes to the bigger picture. It's waking up early to read when your body wants sleep. It's going to the gym when your mind says rest. It's putting money aside when you'd rather spend. It's making the call when fear says, wait. It's the hundreds of small decisions that shape your day and ultimately your destiny. The truth is, everything in life competes for your attention. There are distractions around every corner: screens, opinions, emotions, temptations. If you don't control your focus, something else will, and the only way to maintain that focus is with discipline. The undisciplined mind is a playground for confusion, but a disciplined mind is a weapon for clarity. It's not about being rigid, it's about being responsible. It's not about being harsh, it's about being honest with yourself. Discipline is self-respect in action. A person without discipline is like a car with no steering wheel. Lots of potential, but no direction. And the road to regret is littered with people who had every chance, every opportunity, every talent, but no discipline. They started strong and faded. They dreamed but never delivered, because they wouldn't do the uncomfortable things long enough to see results. They waited to feel ready. They waited to feel inspired. They waited to be rescued. But discipline doesn't wait. It acts. It builds. It stacks small wins. And eventually, those small wins become big victories. Discipline also builds trust with yourself. Every time you follow through, even in the smallest way, you teach your brain, I keep my word, I do what I say, and that becomes a foundation for confidence. Not arrogance, not ego, but real confidence, the kind that comes from showing up day after day, no matter the weather, no matter the mood. When you develop that kind of discipline, you stop being tossed around by circumstance. You start steering your life with intention. That's power, and it's not about perfection. No one gets it right every time. Discipline doesn't mean you never fail. It means you keep going after the failure. You don't give yourself a pass every time it's hard. You don't shrink every time resistance shows up. You recognize the voice of excuse and you override it. You show up again. You recalibrate. You get back in the game. That's discipline. Success isn't reserved for the chosen few. It's built by the consistent many, the ones who show up early, stay a little later, give a little extra, the ones who do it when no one's watching, who don't need applause or permission or perfect conditions, just a goal and the grit to stick to it. That's where discipline lives. That's where it thrives. Most people want a better life, but they're unwilling to pay the price in discipline. And the price isn't money, it's time, effort, sacrifice. It's the decision to delay gratification, to do the work before the reward, to practice before the applause. That's what builds character. That's what shapes identity. That's what turns ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. Every day, you're writing your future in the choices you make. Discipline is simply the choice to make those decisions with clarity, not chaos. With purpose, not pressure. It's the master key because it unlocks the life most people only talk about. When you have it, you don't need to hope for change. You become the change. You don't need to wish for strength. You build it. You don't need to wait for opportunity. You create it. Discipline doesn't just change your day. It changes your destiny. Your mind is a garden. Guard the gate means that your thoughts are like seeds, and whatever you allow into your mind will grow and shape the quality of your life. If you allow positive, productive, and empowering thoughts to take root, you will eventually harvest clarity, strength, peace, and success. But if you allow weeds, negative thoughts, doubts, fears, envy, and distractions to grow unchecked, they will overrun everything good and choke your potential. Just like a real garden, your mind needs attention, care, protection, and constant weeding. You don't have to teach weeds to grow. They grow by default. You leave the garden alone, and before long, it's overrun. The same thing happens in the mind. If you're not intentional, if you're not paying attention to what's being planted, something will grow, but it might not be what you want. That's why guarding the gate matters. The gate is the point of entry. It's what you see, hear, read, believe, and repeat. Every day, you are bombarded with information, noise, opinions, and stories. Not all of it deserves a place in your mind. Just because someone said it, doesn't mean you have to receive it. Just because it's trending doesn't mean it's truth. You have to be selective, discerning, and protective. Guarding the gate means asking yourself constantly, does this thought serve me? Does this belief align with who I want to become? Is this idea helping me or hurting me? That's what the gardener does. He checks what's growing. He pulls what doesn't belong. He adds what nourishes. He doesn't just let the weather decide. He prepares the soil, waters the seeds, and keeps watch for intruders. The same mindset is required to cultivate a strong, focused, and peaceful mind. Too many people allow anything and everything into their mental garden. They let the news flood their thoughts with fear. They let social media plant seeds of comparison and insecurity. They let negative people speak doubt into their dreams, and then they wonder why they feel tired, overwhelmed, confused, or stuck. It's not a mystery. It's the harvest of an unguarded mind. You can't plant weeds and expect roses. You can't feed your mind with garbage and expect clarity. Every time you consume information, have a conversation, or entertain a thought, you're either planting something or watering something. That's why awareness is everything. If you don't know what's growing in your garden, you'll wake up one day and realize that you've been cultivating fear, laziness, procrastination, or resentment. But if you guard the gate and plant on purpose, you can fill your mental garden with strength, hope, discipline, gratitude, and joy. Even more important than what you plant is what you allow to stay. Some thoughts show up uninvited: old memories, self-doubt, judgment, past failures. They may come knocking. You can't always control what appears, but you can control what stays. That's where discipline comes in. That's where self-awareness plays its role. You have to become the kind of person who recognizes toxic thoughts quickly and replaces them with truth. You can't entertain every thought that crosses your mind. Not every visitor deserves a seat at your table. You have to say, "This doesn't belong here," and let it go. Guarding the gate also means watching who speaks into your life. People are walking seeds too. Their words carry weight. If you surround yourself with negative, fearful, or small-minded people, their words will eventually settle into your soil, and over time they'll start to grow into beliefs and actions. That's why your circle matters. You don't have to shut the world out, but you do have to be intentional about what you let in. Your mental garden is too valuable to let others trample through it. A garden takes work. So does the mind. It's not a one-time thing. You don't weed once and then you're done. You don't guard the gate one day and then forget it the next. It's daily. It's constant, but it's worth it. Because your thoughts shape your feelings shape your actions, and your actions shape your future. Everything starts in the mind. It's the control center. It's the soil from which your entire life grows. When you make the decision to guard the gate, you begin to live with intention. You begin to speak differently, think differently, and respond differently. You don't react to everything. You don't dwell on every worry. You don't get thrown off by every bad day. Instead, you pause, reflect, filter, and plant what will bring a better harvest. That kind of mental strength isn't built overnight, but it's built every day with every choice. The beautiful thing about the mind is that no matter how overgrown it may have become, you can always start weeding. You can always begin again. The moment you take responsibility for what grows in your garden, you reclaim your power. You may not be able to control the weather, but you can control what you plant, how you nourish it, and what you pull out. And over time, you'll see the results. A life filled with peace, clarity, and direction is just the result of a well-guarded mind. You become the gardener, you decide what grows, you protect the gate because your future depends on what gets through.